I had suggested to a couple of big YouTube channels to talk about Shanquella Robinson, and they ended up doing that. So thank y'all so much, because there were a few channels that were covering it, but they really weren't doing a good job. And so a couple of bigger channels started covering it and did a good job. That case is such a tragedy. She was in her own business, Shanquella, doing really good for herself. And, she brought a lot of money with her to, go to Mexico. I'm not going to get into all the details because there are people out there that can tell you about the story. I'm just giving my 2 cents worth. But, she foot the bill for this trip for these assholes that she took with her that were supposed to be her so-called friends. And after looking at them, they just did not seem to be in the same class as her. You really need to be around people that are in your class. They seem lowly and scummy and ghetto and nasty. And she took these pieces of shit to have a nice vacation at this really exclusive, expensive resort in Mexico. And for some reason, one person ended up beating her to death. We don't know 100% more. We just saw what we saw in that viral video. Other people could have done stuff to her too. We do not know. And one guy was making just weird comments while she was asleep, saying that she was the next victim, and just other things. This definitely, I think, was premeditated. They seem to have treated her different from the very beginning of the trip. Don't know if it was some type of gang initiation, some type of revenge for something, or maybe they just wanted her money, because I think she brought $10,000 with her. It was something, I think, now I'm just assuming, that was premeditated. And it's just so sad. And I mean, they were so stupid. They even recorded the beating and everything. And the people that really dropped the ball were the resort people. That doctor that came there and lied and said that she did resuscitation and agreed not to take Shanquella to the hospital, she needs to go to jail too. Because if you see a patient in that state that she was in, you automatically take them to the hospital. So I don't know if they threatened that doctor, try to pay her off or whatever, but she needs to lose her license and she needs to go to jail as well. It's ridiculous that the United States government is not extraditing these assholes back to Mexico. They said they're not going to have any type of formal case. And I can see that a lot of people are pissed about that, but this is not like a federal crime. So I can understand them not doing, a federal crime charge. But they need to extradite these assholes back to Mexico and let them go through the justice system there and go to one of those nasty Mexican prisons and pay the price. It's not only the person that beat her up that needs to go to jail. They all need to go to jail because they stood around, laughed, videotaped it, and did not try to assist her. And we don't know if all the rest of them didn't beat on her too. We just saw that one video. So they all need to face stiff consequences, because this is an absolutely just horrific tragedy, and she needs justice. And let's be honest, if her name was Emily something, if she had rich parents and was white, you know damn well those people would have already been back in Mexico facing charges. Not trying to say everything's about race, because I hate when people play the race card. It pisses me off. But in this case, you know damn well if she was something else, this case would have already been pushed through, and those assholes would have been back in Mexico. So I hope her family can get some justice for this. It's just absolutely horrible that this happened, and that no one's seeming to really try to push the ball to get these assholes back there to face justice. So we need to send lots of prayers and support to her family. Need to keep this story in the media, keep it, being talked about, because it's not a front and center like it should be. This case should be just as viral as the Idaho 4 and the Daybell case, because this was absolutely horrific. Even the autopsy reports were just completely different. One said she had internal decapitations, her spine was messed up, and a whole bunch of stuff. The other one said it was just hardly nothing. It's ridiculous. People that are trying to cover this up, they need to be charged as well. And she just really needs justice. So please keep this story, going until something happens. Like I said, I understand the government saying it's not a federal crime, but they still need to be doing something to get these assholes extradited back to Mexico. And if they're not going to do that, charge them in this country. It doesn't have to be a federal thing. They need charges. They need to pay. Not just the girl we saw beating her up on the video. They all need to pay for their crimes. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are.